I do indeed. Now, it's been tricky following this young male leopard. He's been very playful in and out of the Mulawati, the drainage line, that big drainage line that runs through Djuma. But he's at Chelepan at the moment, which has filled up nicely from those rains that we had. It's nice to see it full of water. It was dry when I left here last. He's smelling, he's sniffing around. He's being very inquisitive this morning. As I said, quite playful. When we found him, he had a big ball of dry elephant dung in his mouth, and he was walking around with that. I do really enjoy these young leopards and how playful they are. See that face he was pulling, he's just smelling, probably picking up on the scent of another leopard. Hang on, he's coming this way. Let's see which direction he goes. I've just lost him for a second, everyone. I just don't want to move. Our signal's a bit dodgy in this area, so I don't want to lose you if he's... Which way is he going? Maybe he's... Can you see him, View? I think he's drinking now. Hold on a second. Let's see. I might just get another position here. Yeah, he's down drinking. Hold on a second. There we go. VM, can you get him through there? Shaking off some water. Hold on a second. We'll get a nice view of him now. There we go. The light is a bit tricky at the moment, but luckily for us, VM can control all of that with the camera, because we're facing east, so we're looking into the sun. And Karen, you asked how strong is a leopard. A leopard is very strong, very powerful, and I would guess, pound for pound, probably the most powerful, one of the most powerful animals out here. And if you think of how they're able to hoist carcasses up into a tree, their agility, it really is incredible and fascinating. What a beautiful surprise this morning. It was a bit quiet for us. I've heard it before. See, he's heading backwards and forwards, back down towards that drainage line. It's moving around a lot, being very inquisitive. And all of this is a learning curve for this young male leopard. He's learning a lot about the territory that he's in at the moment, who's moving around here. Now, Tristan had that amazing sighting of the 3 male leopards. He had Tingana, the big dominant male leopard, and then the 2 young males. And it was, fascinating to see their interaction, or very little interaction. They were actually just in the same area. Now he's moving through quite thick little area now. We'll see. He's just going to pop out in front of the tree in front of us. See, there he goes. It's going to start getting difficult to follow him through here. I'll try to stick with him and just see, but from here it gets very thick and then moves down towards this drainage line, which is in front of us over there. What a lovely sighting of him, and to see him drinking. Okay, let's see if I can just get through here quickly. Hold on. Alright, I'm going to see if I can keep up with this leopard. Oh, hold on a second. I think just stick with me for a while, because I'm scared we might lose this leopard in the drainage line. So while we've still got him, stay with us, because we may lose him after this. And I was just saying earlier how excited I get when we do find a leopard. If you've been looking for one or you've been tracking, So I'm very happy that we got to find this young male for you this morning. And all thanks to Franklin. Little Franklin gave what sounded like alarm calls, and we checked down the riverbed and spotted Hosana lying down. Now, earlier he actually saw, while we were following him, he saw or caught a glimpse of a duiker running, bounding through the bush, and he obviously gave a bit of a chase, a bit of a half-hearted chase, I would say. I'm just going to radio these other guides in the area quickly, just so they know where it is. And we want to try get as many people to see this leopard as possible. It's always a wonderful sighting. Henry Texan, if you copy, is just in front of me at the moment, just on the edge of this of the drainage line. Tax, if you can see me, probably about 30 meters in front of me. Luckily, the other guys are able to get round so they can also see him. You might see a vehicle pop into frame, and that's just one of the Juma vehicles. They've got guests. There we go. Let me just tax him. Let me just reposition for us quickly, maybe. Give us a bit of a different angle. So hopefully we won't have the vehicle in frame. Or the people, at least. You might still see some of the vehicle. But there he is. That's a wonderful view. Put it? Ah, there's a Nyala. Well spotted view. So that's what this young leopard has seen. So that's what's caught his attention. As I was saying to you, he caught a glimpse of a duiker earlier. Now the thing is, that's, you know, if you had to describe typical leopard behavior, they would, you would describe it, especially with the hunting, they would be moving through these thicker areas, these. You see, he's just got into that stalking mode, head down, trying to stay as low as possible, trying to stalk around. As I was saying, they would move through these thicker areas on the fringe of a drainage line or a thicket, and try and stalk any antelope that might potentially be moving through this area. Anything from a duiker to a Nyala to Impala, anything that comes through here, he would potentially try to hunt. So I wonder if there's a young female perhaps in that area, and I think it was a young Nyala that we saw, then most likely this leopard would try to hunt it. Anything bigger than that, I don't think, a big male Nyala, I don't think he's got the experience for that just yet. I'm going to try and go around and see if we can get another view of him. Like I said, it's starting to get quite thick here now. Very exciting. It would be wonderful for this young male to make a kill. And he's been successful with hunting in the past, very successful. I hope you're all enjoying this as much as I am. What a nice morning. Tristan will be proud of me. Just going to see. Now, it does help, obviously, if there's one or two of you in a sighting like this, two vehicles, because if one guy's got a view, another one can reposition, just to try and keep tabs on where this leopard is moving. Obviously, they can move wherever, and he's definitely going into some thicker stuff. Sky, it's a difficult question. You asked if lions, or which one represents the pinnacle of cat evolution. Now, I'll tell you why that's a difficult question, is because they've both got a different niche, a different role. Some people say a niche. They've got a different role in nature and in an ecosystem. So you can't say one is better than the other, because they're both completely. Can you see him back there? There he is. There he is. Hold on. He's coming through here. There he is. Oh, I think he's given up on his Inyala. He's just through there, Viam. Have you got him there? He's come back. And so, as I was saying, I think because they both play different roles. Lions are pride animals. They generally live in groups. Leopards are generally solitary, although I suppose that rule has been thrown out the window with the leopard activity we've been having recently. We've had those males together. But yes, generally leopards are solitary. So different role, but both animals are basically the what's the word? The ultimate predators out here, I suppose you could just say. All right. Well, I'm going to stick around with Hosana now. He's given up on his interest in the Inyala, but let's head all the way to the Mara now to Scott and find out how his morning's going.